Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot and a member of the PMDG 737 tech team. Welcome to the PMDG Boeing 737-800 for Flight Simulator 2024. PMDG have just released the aircraft. There is a great 60% discount for all the owners of the FS 2020 version of the plane, and today we will be delivering our brand new aircraft from the delivery center here in Seattle, Washington over to Dublin. So let's head over to our brand new aircraft. By the way, superb and stunning scenery from the Wiki design that we're using for Boeing Field. Absolutely recommendable scenery here. It has a great representation of the delivery ramp. Now, the PMDG 737 has so many new features that we are going to see in action today, but before we start with any of that, let's quickly go ahead and close the cargo doors down here. So that's the front cargo door closed, then we can head over to the back of the airplane and close the aft cargo door, and when all of that is done we will head over inside to start preparing the airplane for this 9-hour and 20-minute ride today. So follow me inside. We are coming in through the brand new galley with a superb, not just galley, but also cabin that's been added to the aircraft. In fact, 3 cabins. You can choose between the high-density cabin that we've got installed in this Ryanair 737 or the standard all-economy cabin that you find in most 737s, or even a cabin that includes a business class. So really many options you've got there. Also, if it was a little bit darker already, you could control all the cabin lights through the flight attendant panel right up here. A really nice feature as well. If you want to extend or retract your airstairs, can do that down here as well. So the papers have just been signed, our plane has been purchased, so let's head right into the flight deck and start setting ourselves up. We'll take a seat on the captain's seat right down here, and then we can get right into the electronic flight bag to do a little bit of a general setup over here. So we are going to request our data from SimBrief and then have a look into the flight plan. By the way, if you're wondering, I am using the Ryanair format over here. So starting right down here with our en route charts, let's have a look at what route we're flying for our transatlantic flight in the 737. We are starting right down here in Boeing Field, and then you can see we got a very tight spacing between all those airports over here. So if any one of those did not have sufficient weather conditions, we could actually not do the flight because we are not ETOPS certified with this aircraft over here. So as you can see today, everything is going to work out. Now looking into the significant weather chart, we obviously do not have any passengers on board, but what we do have is quite a bit of severe turbulence, up to flight level 400 on the first, let's say, about hour after our takeoff. Then eventually things are smoothing out as we're heading towards the Hudson Bay, and crossing the Atlantic and crossing Greenland is going to be easy today. Nothing to worry about there. Couple of CBs forecast for our arrival into Ireland, and apart from that we should have an easy time. Now, as you can see, we're pretty much straight away following the jet streams over here, which is really required because we are almost at the maximum fuel load that our plane can take for today's flight. Now let's quickly have a look into the weather as well. Now we can see the weather outside, 7 degrees, rainy. After all, Seattle is one of the cities with the most rain that you are going to find in the world. Now Dublin on the other hand side, good weather at the moment. However, looking into the forecast, we are going to get some gusts, and that's going to be interesting because our airplane is so light today. So chances are we will load as much fuel as possible, but we can't load much extra fuel. So this is all within limits, but this is a challenging one. Now we can see the very same at our alternate down here. So, finally, let's have a look into the flight plan. We are scheduled to depart at 2300. That's in 15 minutes. Should be able to do that with no passengers. Arriving at 0816, which is just about at sunrise in Dublin. Our call sign will be Ryanair 800 Quebec. Starting in flight level 390, later climbing to flight level 410. Now, top of climb wind 270 at 132. I just love that. We're flying around about the 090 track. So, beautiful weather. Looking into the fuel, as you can see, we are already pretty tight. We're planned with a 3% contingency. We have an alternate that just gives us 18 minutes on top. So we are going to arrive with just 48 minutes of fuel in the tanks, provided that we have to use the contingency, which might happen due to the turbulence. So our planned off-block fuel is 20.1. We are going to bring this right up to the maximum that the plane can take, but this is really not a lot. So let's just have that one in mind. So we said we need 20.1, so let's just head over into the FMC down here and request the fuel tug, and then we are just going to load the maximum fuel quantity over here, which is 20,897 kilograms. So we'll just fuel it up the last couple of bits over here. And, well, then I suppose we are just about going to get started now. Alrighty. So, starting with the safety inspection, the battery is on. It's so strange when most of that stuff is done already, but the battery is on, landing gear lever is down, flap lever is up and agrees. Then we can do the fire test. And that's all looking good. Squips, looking good. Emergency exit lights aren't already. Fasten seatbelts should be off. Tendon call is checked. Thrust levers and takeoff config warning checked. So fire warning is looking good. The transponder should be on 2000 down here. Then moving up, voice recorder is coming on. Flight recorder is looking good. Overall, I'm not expecting any malfunctions, but we really want to be on the safe side here. So stick shaker works on that side, and stick shaker also works on that side. Beautiful. As mentioned, not expecting any malfunctions because it is a brand new aircraft, but you never know. So let's put our code away. Let's also stow our flight bags down here. You can already prepare that high-vis vest for your walk around, please. And, well, then let's go ahead and take a seat again. So let's start getting ready down here. Light test is looking fantastic. Then you can start the refueling process, please. No, that's looking good. We'll leave them in bright for the time being. We'll be dimming them very soon. Alright, so that stuff's looking good. Then we can do the oxygen test. And that's fantastic as well. Alrighty. Well, then, let's get started, shall we? So, we need airports, we need the terrain, and the same on the other hand side. And then, we can start with our FMC setup. So let's start with the data link down here. We'll go to ADS, ATIS, and we are looking for KBFI, Boeing fields. So, unable to provide ATIS at this time. Okay, so be it. Then we're just going to go with a TWIP request. So KBFI, please send. Sending and send. Now we're waiting for the thing to arrive. Stuff like that can certainly happen, especially if an airport just doesn't have an ATIS, which might be the case over here. We can have a look at the charts to find out a little bit more. But smaller airports in the US sometimes just don't have an ATIS available, so that could very well be. In any case, we will get the weather request down here momentarily, so that is fine. Alright then, let's get started. Menu FMC, 737-800 blended winglets, 26K engine, nav database is up to date. So, position in it, we can copy and paste the GPS left position, And then we can go ahead and request our flight plan from SimBrief right down here. Plan is selected and on the way. In the meantime, let's go back into the data link and see what we got. So there's the TAF down here, don't really need that. And the actual weather, wind 170 at 4 degrees, light rain 7 degrees, QNH 2946. Alright, so let's go ahead and set that. 2946 set on this side. Now I'm going to be lazy, I'll simply copy and paste it to the other side using the source select switch. Switch them both on 1, back to normal, and you can see, here you go, copy and paste it. Cool, so that's that. Definitely going to be runway 14 for the departure like that, so 14 right it is. Okay, cool. Then that we got this, let's go ahead and load our route. We're also going to pin the charts over here, and we can see for the SID, I think it's going to be the Nirvana 1 departure, which is more or less just straight ahead. We have an initial altitude somewhere on there, 2000. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Well, let's see if the ATC clearance is going to be the same. So route data is uplinked, then let's go for departure and arrival. We're leaving runway 14 right, Nirvana 1. And now for the arrivals into Dublin. Currently we do expect an ILS approach runway 28 left. Let's see about our arrival. NIMAT for Lima. And that's that one. And we can take the Ubinu transition. Okay, activate. Then let's have a very quick look through this. And that looks all good. Alright, perfect. So let's move on into the performance. Cost index will be 6. Our reserves are 1.4. The zero fuel weight is 42.3. Flight level 390. Then, top of climb wind 270 at 132. The temperature up there is 1 degree colder than standard, so minus 57 please. And transition altitude 18,001. Now let's go on to the takeoff page. Wet runway, that much is for sure, and the acceleration will be in 1,000 feet. Beautiful. So for the fix page we need KBFI and a 25-mile ring around that one. For MSA awareness, climb page 250 below 10,000 is in there. That is beautiful. Now let's just quickly execute this so that we can also do the en route wind request. Ryanair doesn't have those features in the real world, but hey, who cares? Okay, cool. So weather is coming, and with that our FMC setup is completed for the time being. So let's put that EFB away and just make a quick flight deck setup over here. All 6 pumps, and the transfer feed valve is checked. Over here everything's set. We are still refueling the last 700 kilos. That's gonna take probably a minute. So window heat on. Hydraulic pumps on, voice recorders on anyway. Let's also put the APU lead on, because hey, it's cold outside. Climbing to flight level 390, and we're landing in Dublin. That's a 250 feet elevation. Alright, the EFIS is almost set. Let's quickly go for the MFRA, which is going to be 1060, so 1000 AGL. And if you're wondering how I'm operating these without actually touching the EFIS control panel, this is actually my very first flight using the WinWing Boeing MCDU, well, Boeing CDU I can say now, and the WinWing 737 MCP as well. So thank you so much to WinWing for actually providing me with a copy of those units. I do really appreciate that, and you guys can be absolutely sure that I will do a little bit more detailed review on those in the future. Alright, so we got a runway heading of 135 that we can set. I'm just taking that from the lags page, and I'm going to do the same on the courses, so That's 135 set there and 135 set here. So now it's actually funny. It doesn't just feel like a very new airplane that we are taking delivery from. This is actually my very first flight with the WinWing gear as well. So it actually all feels brand new as well. Totally loving it. Okay, cool. So that stuff is done. Now the IRS alignment is taking rather long here. What's taking so long? Should be almost there, huh? Yeah, it's there just now. Okay. That's what I call timing. Alright, beautiful. Refueling is complete, so we can release the fuel truck down here. Yeah, forecast uplink is already loaded. And then we can set that park and brake. We can also dial up the tower already. So, what do we have? Boeing clearance 132.4, ground 1.9. So that's 132.4. Alright, so we already have some VOR selected. We don't really need anything local here. So I'm happy with that. Then we are gonna take 1 to 1.5. And here we go. Alright, beautiful. So that's our flight deck setup completed. Then let's do a very quick briefing, and I'll just really do this the Airbus way because it's just quicker. So let's start your way, please. So we are going to depart Boeing Field 14 right, Nirvana 1 departure, climbing 2000. The MSA is 4000, and extra fuel time we have 700 kilos, which equals some 20 minutes at this weight. Now we are going to taxi out to runway 14 right. We don't have any hotspots for this. Stop margin for rejected takeoff will be more than enough. We're not very heavy, even though we are completely full with fuel. So it will be just a normal takeoff like any other that you would do on the line over here. Engine outset straight at 25, climbing 4000, and runway 14 right is available for a re-landing if required. I do not have any specials, I do not have anything non-standard. And then I would say, let's go ahead and get this airplane ready for rock and roll. So yeah, let's go ahead and request our IFR clearance. So what did I say was the frequency? 132.4. Like that. Boeing delivery, Ryanair 800 Quebec, request IFR clearance to Dublin. Roger. Alright, they're working on it. In the meantime, we're running on the APU anyway. Fueling is complete. We can remove the chocks.
Ryanair 800, cleared to Dublin via the Nirvana 1 departure. Radar vectors ALTS then is filed. Departure runway 14 right. Initial climb to 9000. Departure on 119.2. Squawk 2272.
Ryanair 800 Quebec is cleared to Dublin via Nirvana 1 departure, climb maintain 9000, runway 14 right in use, departure 119.2, squawk 2272. Alright, so 9000 it is.
Ryanair 800, read back correct. Ground is on 121.9 or safe flight, sir.
121.9R, thank you for making great airplanes, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Alright, cool. So we have runway 14 right, Nirvana 1 departure, climbing 9000, and departure 119.2, which I'm going to enter over here. Why are we getting the flight attendant announcements? I've misconfigured my same intentions. Let me kill that flight attendant. I'm not supposed to have any. That's better. Okay, my mistake, should have set that up before starting the video. So 119.2 as our departure frequency, and squawk 2272. Okay, cool. So that stuff is done. Then let's go ahead and actually start to get ready for our departure, shall we? Okay, quickly clear the FMC, and then 9,000 as our initial climb. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So for our takeoff performance calculation, let's see what we got. Performance tool, Boeing 1-4 right. Yeah, I guess we can simply import this. 2943 now. Okay. Here we go, 2943. You're gonna be lazy. Copy paste it. Okay, and that gets us takeoff 2 at 40 degrees. And that's 87.8. Yep. So flaps 5, CG 20.5, 5.7 units trim, and the takeoff speeds on a wet runway. Oh, should have selected that. Same data, huh? Takeoff 2, 40. Yep, same data. Okay, 5.7 units trim is in there, and the speed's 30, 33, 39. Alright, and that's all set. Beautiful. Then we are ready up here. So let's do the safety inspection checklist, and before start checklist, down to the line please. Surfaces and shocks checked, maintenance status checked, battery on, electric hydraulic pumps on, landing gear lever down, ship's library checked, RS mode selectors, nav, gear pins 1 to 3 removed, probe covers 1 to 3, 4, 5 removed, light test checked, oxygen test 100%, yaw damper on, nav transfer and display switches normal and auto, fuel that's 20.1 required, 20.9 on board, and 6 pumps on. Cabin utility IV galley power on, emergency exit lights on, fast melts on, window heat on, air cannon press, PAX auto, bleeds on, set, pressurization mode selector, auto, instruments cross-checked, auto brake, RTO, hydraulics, normal, speed brake, down attend, parking brake, set, step from cutout switches normal, wheel fire warning checked, radius, radar and transponder, set and standby, radar and aileron trims 3 and 0, takeoff briefing discussed, PA, not applicable, FMC CDU, set, N1 and EIS bugs, automatic, reduce 22k, speed 30, 33, 39 set, stop trim 5.7 set, performance weight and balance, sign and send, phones off, EFB, airplane mode stilled, flutter windows, and cockpit door. Well, for that one, let's see. I think, yep, the Boeing guys have closed it. Okay, so flutter windows and cockpit door are closed. Doors closed, passengers not on board before start checklist complete, down to the line. Alright then, let's call ground and get our pushback clearance. Boeing ground, Ryanair 800 Quebec, request pushback and startup. Push and start approved, Ryanair 800 Quebec. So, ground from flight deck. Please confirm that all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Okay, thanks. Pushback approved, runway 14 right, and the parking brake is released. Roger, start the pushback, stand by for engine start. Before start checklist below the line, air compacts off, anti-collision light on, parking brake released, transponder alt off. Before start checklist complete. Here we go, my friends, our brand new aircraft. Let's see if GSX can break it before anything starts. Gonna run those cars? No, that looks okay. Alright. We'll wait until the pushback has aligned us with the center line, and as soon as that has happened, we can go ahead and commence engine start. I just totally love the scenery of those Boeing factories here. Yaviki are doing an awesome job with those. That goes for Renton, where most 737s are built. That goes for the delivery ramps here in Boeing Field. And that obviously also goes for Everett, where the 777 and the 747s, well, used to be built. And the 87s. It's just fantastic to be on those ramps. Look at all those beautiful aircraft. Alright, and now it's time for us to start one of them. So, ground flight deck, we're ready for engine start. Starting engine 2. So, brand new engine start sequence implemented by PMDG. And I forgot to reset the altimeter earlier. So we got N2, oil pressure, N1. That's 25%. Okay, flooded grounds. The pushback is completed. Set your brakes, please. Parking brake set. Starter cutout. Monitor 2, starting 1. Engine 1 start. N2. So the new engine start has the N2 rise to about 18 to 20% before the oil pressure even starts coming in, and only then N1 is going to start rotating as well. Just absolutely love this. This is exactly correct now. Just like it should be. They've done a great job on that. Took me a couple years of pushing them into that direction, but they've done it. That's all we can ask for, isn't it? Okay, starter cutout, monitor 1, number 1 stable. So there's a tug, there's a tow bar, there's a ramp agent, and she's holding a pin. Loving it. So the clear signal is received, flight control track, full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudders, full left, full right, and neutral, before taxi checklist. Generators on, APU off, start switches continuous, probe heat on, anti-ice on, aircon packs, auto, bleeds on, isolation valve, auto, flaps, 5, and the green light. Stop trim 5.7 set, start leaders idly 10, flight controls checked, recall checked, before taxi checklist complete. Ryanair 800 Quebec, request taxi. Unreadable, please say again. Okay, taxi to Romeo 14 right, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Almost impossible to understand this gentleman. So, Romeo 14 right, that's gonna be right up here, straight ahead, right hand turn, Alpha 1.
Runway 14 right, taxi via Bravo, Bravo 1.
Bravo, Bravo 1, Romeo 14 right, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Beautiful, now he's got it. Okay, config. And then, let's get going.
Ryanair 800, runway 14 right, taxi via Bravo.
Yeah. Okay, so, another long requested feature. Wipers are actually wiping rain off the windshields now. So let's keep her slow while on the ramps over here. We don't want to break anything at the end of the day. Alright, bye-bye Boeing. I'm sure we'll meet again. And likewise, I do hope that it's not gonna be long. But I have a feeling next time we'll meet, it's gonna be in Renton again. Probably in Everett. Hopefully in Everett. We'll see about it. So, before takeoff checklist down to the line, please. Config. Checked. Flaps 5. 5. And the green light. Step trim 5.7 set. Takeoff briefing. It's going to be a left seat takeoff. Romeo 1 for left. Flaps 5. Noise abatement procedure 2.
Contact tower on 118.3, so long.
118 decimal 3. Ryanair 800 Quebec. So long. Tower, hello, Ryanair 800 Quebec, ready for departure.
Ryanair 800, Boeing Tower, runway 14 right, winds 150 at 4. RNAV Nirvana, cleared for takeoff.
On-off to Nirvana, runway 14 right, cleared for takeoff, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Okay, beautiful. So we are cleared for takeoff. Let's quickly finish the briefing. So left seat takeoff, 14 right, flaps 5, noise 2, and engine anti-ice is on, tax auto bleeds on. Takeoff speeds 30, 33, 39, and the SID takes us straight ahead, and we'll get radar vectors from air traffic control. Any questions? Nope. Alright, beautiful. Cabin is secure. Before takeoff checklist complete. And the left side is clear, the right side is clear, before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP. Set, transponder, TA array, strobe lights on, landing lights on, before takeoff checklist complete. So long, are you ready? Then let's have some fun. Takeoff. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. Checked. Nice and shallow through the dead band. Gear up. LNF. Wipers off. Command A.
00, contact departure on 119.2.
119.2, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Okay, back up. Seattle departure, Ryanair 800 Quebec, passing 2,200, climbing 9,000. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Seattle approach, radar contact, climb and maintain 9,000.
Climb and maintain 9,000, Ryanair 800. Flaps up. Speed checked. Flaps up. Temperature's on the edge of 10, but I'm going to keep anti-ice on. Even though we will be accelerating a bit, which is going to warm up the TAT. It'll get colder soon.
Climb and maintain flight level 200.
Ryanair 800, climbing flight level 200. Set, 200 checked. And flaps up no lights. VNAV, set standard. Standard, cross-check, passing flight level 43 now. Checked. Alright, after takeoff checklist. Start switches remain on due to anti-ice. Then here we go. Air cannon press, 1.8, climbing. Set. Altimeters. Standard cross-check, passing flight level 47. Now. So what do we have in front of us here? Yeah, that looks good. Ryanair 800 Quebec, request left turn heading 360 to avoid weather.
Ryanair 00, left turn heading 360 approved.
Left turn heading 360 approved, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Heading select. Okay, that should hopefully get us through the turn before hitting any of this. At the same time, what's the terrain doing? Let's increase that range a bit as well, because after all there is terrain to the north of Seattle. But looks like we are well clear for the time being. Alright, we're cleared above level 100, then, or above level 150, so full climb thrust please. That should hopefully help us to get on top of the weather a little bit quicker as well. Temperature is 12 degrees now. Well, doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep the anti-ice.
Climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb, maintain flight level 250 right now. 800 Quebec. Set. Flight level 250 checked. Okay. That heading 360 is actually looking quite good. Let's see if 350 is available. Ryanair 800 Quebec is flight... Nope. Is heading 350 available? In the meantime, I will just continue that turn here. Don't want to get too close to the weather.
Ryanair 800, heading 350 approved, maintain current altitude.
Heading 350 approved in the current altitude, Ryanair 800. Okay, alt hold. 10,000, level change. Set QNH. Huh, that was an unexpected stop of the climb.
Ryanair 800, speed below 250 knots.
Speed 250, Ryanair 800. Okay, well, that happens. So, we should stay above the weather. That is fine. Let's see if we can already get a higher flight level. Ryanair 800 Quebec, when is flight level 390 available? I just don't want to get too close to that weather over there. That amber thing might be a little bit annoying.
Ryanair 800, flight level 390 available now. Climb and maintain 39,000.
Thank you. Climbing flight level 390, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Set. 390 checked. VNAV. And then we got set standard. Standard cross check, passing flight level 105. Almost now. Okay, so flight level 390 set once, set twice.
Flight level 280.
Flight level 280, Ryanair 800. ATC is changing their mind quite a bit today. So let's see. That is a long way around. Let's see if we can simply get above it. I mean, it doesn't look too bad just by looking outside, does it? I'm kind of hoping we'll just, once we are past this, be able to outclimb that weather. After all, we gotta keep in mind the Asobo weather radar doesn't show us vertical dimensions, so I'm kind of hoping that it's just low-level stuff there. Yeah, going through this doesn't look too bad, does it? I think we can just take a right-hand turn anytime now. Let's see if there is anything available. Ryanair 800 Quebec, any chance to proceed direct Yankee X-Ray Charlie?
current altitude.
Thank you, Direct Cranbrook approved Ryanair 800 Quebec. Yeah, I'm going to ignore that, maintain current altitude. So, Yankee X-Ray Charlie. That looks good. Execute. LNAV available. LNAV. So, in the meantime, we got through flight level 100, so let's do the temp checks, please. Fuel is balanced, and we got 6 pumps on, the lights, yeah, they can go off, that's fine. So, lights off, APU is off, aircon and press, set 5.0, climbing and set, fasten belts. Well, I suppose they're gonna remain on for the time being. Recall is checked, and then we can quickly say hello.
Direct ALPS then as filed, please.
Roger, Ryanair 800. Okay, I suppose then we can say hello to Canada on CPDLC already. Let's see what their ident is. Charlie Zulu Victor Romeo. Menu, data link, ATC, lock on status, Charlie Zulu Victor Romeo. And we are Ryanair 800 Quebec from Boeing Field to Dublin. That looks good. Send the lock on.
Ryanair 800, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340, Ryanair 800. I'm giving up on the Quebec. Set. Flight level 340 checked. VNAV. Alright, I think for the time being, that's about everything that I got for you guys. So, sit back, relax, enjoy the next couple of hours flight time. Now, let's just quickly ask the important question. 0828. That's not too bad. It's just about sunset. Sunrise.
Contact Seattle Center on 120.3.
120.3, Ryanair 800. Seattle Center, Ryanair 800 Quebec, passing level 187, climbing level 340. Yes, no, maybe? Seattle Santa Ryanair 800 Quebec, climbing level 340. In the meantime, ATC call. Lock on accepted by Vancouver control already. Well, I suppose I'm going to argue with ATC over here, and then I see all of you guys after hopefully seeing a couple of northern lights while we head across the Atlantic. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. Ryanair 800 Quebec. And with that, my friends, very good morning and welcome to our approach into Dublin. So 19555, let's see what approach it's gotta say. Dublin approach, Ryanair 800 Quebec, passing level 149, descending level 80. We've already gotten our start clearance via CPDLC a little bit earlier, so technically speaking, I'm just expecting the runway assignment right now, and then we...
800 Quebec, Dublin approach, identified, warning cleared, over new transition. Expect the ILS, runway 28 left approach into Dublin.
Expecting the ILS 28 left, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Okay, perfect. ILS 28 left, that's what we've expected as well. The weather at the moment is quite good, but let's just re-request the latest ATIS to be on the safe side here. So ATIS Echo India Delta Whiskey. Our fuel situation is pretty much as expected. We're down to 1.9 right now. Expecting to land with 1.5 if we fly the whole arrival. We'll probably get some shortcuts though. So looking into the Perfinite page, 1.4 is the minimum. We've got about 5 minutes extra over there, so it's not a lot, but it is just about fine, I'd say. So here's our ATIS. Let's see what we got there. Dublin information Lima, runway 28 left, visibility 10, wind 22012, few clouds 1100, 6 degrees, 90907. So overall pretty easy conditions. So for the approach briefing, 250 below 100 is in here. Fixed rings 28 left, 10 miles, 4 miles, and we are coming in by the night and 4 Lima arrival, eventually onto the point merge in front over there, and then down towards the final approach. We just talked about the fuel, flaps 30 for our landing, and auto brakes 2. Gives us about 1,500 meters landing run in our performance calculation. 1,550 meters. Vacate to the right, and then we're taxiing up north to, I think it's 137, isn't it? Let's just review that. Yeah, up here, 137. That's where we are going to be parking. Well, and that's everything I got for the approach briefing. I think we can already switch to daylight shots here, since the sun is just about rising, or about to come across the horizon. Overall, easy going. So that is going to be an easy approach today. Beautiful. So let's continue with the descent checklist, please. That's pressurization, land out 250, annuize, off, approach bring fuel discussed, ice and outbox checked, set, approach. Checklist complete. Okay, nice and easy. That's how I like this. Dublin is right over there, the airport. You can always easily find it based on the islands that you're crossing on final approach. I think we can already turn the background lights off as well down here. No longer need those. And they do get rather warm over time. Okay. So overall, I didn't really notice any northern lights. That's a little bit of a pity, because this is pretty much prime time of the year to actually see them. But okay, that happens. So then I would say altimeters. Passing level 100, descend level 80, 10 checks. Fuel, yeah, we got the fuel low advisory there, but that's checked. The fuel is balanced, and we got 4 pumps on. Lights on, angle of bank 25, air cannon press 4.0 descending set, fast modes on, recall checked, 1 to 1.5 deselected, and we've already locked off CPDLC. That's the 10 checks completed. We're approaching 1,000 to go, getting a little bit fast here. Let's help the plane to lose that speed before ATC gets mad at us, and 1,000 to go. Reach Keraf at level 80. Yeah, tell you what, let's go with those speeds. Mine's 1,000. And then we can start slowing down speed to 20, which is what the arrival says down here at Keraf. So VSD on the right side, or rather on the pilot monitoring side. And then we can stow that speed brake again. Beautiful. So, shall we ask ATC if we can get a radar vector to the final approach, or shall we wait and see if they offer it on their own? So we got out acquire, and back to VNAV. Look at that, perfect energy management, we're right on target speed. Love it, absolutely love it. So we do have the fuel to fly the entire arrival plus 5 minutes, so if they don't give us the shortcut, that's fine, but I suppose we can always ask. Right now, 800 Quebec. Any chance for radar vectors to lap mode?
Quebec, descent, altitude 4,000 feet, turn right, heading 180, vectors to the ILS, runway 28 left approach.
Descent altitude 4,000, turn right, heading 180, vectors ILS 28 left, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Set, 4,000 checked, set QNH. I suppose we can just copy paste here. And here we go. Okay, so QNH 90907. Cross check passing 7,100 now. So let's clean up that FMC. So Latmo on top. Like that. Look at that, right on profile. Who would have thought that? Well, in that case, enough. Okay, first check please. Frequencies, 111.35. Right heading 200 Ryanair 800 Quebec.
Ryanair 800 Quebec, 13 miles from Latmo. Turn right heading 245 descent altitude, 3,000 feet, until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 28 left approach.
Ryanair 800 Quebec, right heading 245, descent 3,000 feet, cleared ILS 28 left. Okay, perfect. Then let's just update that direct. That's how to tell someone's a 737 pilot. They're going to update directs. Welcome to the Boeing world of things. Alright, here we go. And I think we can even just put MaxF on top. That may be easiest. Like that. Alright, cool. Very good. So, let's do that frisk again. So frequencies we got 111.35, check 3 times, fixed rings, runway 28 left, 10 miles, 4 miles. Items, India Delta Whiskey, and India Delta Whiskey, standby instruments set, and the courses 278, checked 3 times, approach checklist. Altimeter to instruments, cross-check, approach rates, checked and set, approach checklist complete. I like it. So tower is going to be 18.6.
9 Delta, uniform, radar contact.
Here we go.
Climb and maintain 6,000.
So let's have some fun and do some manual flying here. Nothing better than to hand fly a brand new aircraft. We are cleared for the approach. Approach mode out. Something that you do notice in the real airplane, when you got a very new one versus a very old one, is that the flight controls are a little easier going on the new planes. So VNAV is slowly slowing us down, but with that wind, let's ensure that we don't fly too slow. I think 180 is going to be just fine, so let's just go speed into vent and set the up speed down here. No need to fly too slow. After all, we got plenty of headwind to help us slow down. I love how calm the air is as well here.
Contact Dublin Centre.
Look at that. No control inputs necessary at all. The plane isn't bent yet, because no FOs have landed it yet. Just the Boeing test pilots. And now it's going to be us doing the first one. So this would be like the second or third flight of the airplane. Boeing would do 1 or 2 test flights during the construction of the airplane, where they really take it through the paces to ensure that, you know, ordinary line pilots like me aren't going to break it later on. But apart from that, it's pretty much up to us now. Ryanair 800 Quebec, request descent altitude 2,500. Otherwise we are going to be a little bit high at max F.
800 Quebec, contact Dublin Tower on 128.8 at that moment.
128.8 and we're descending 2,500, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Did you say 128.8? I think he did, didn't he? Yeah. Okay, flaps 1. Speed checked. Dublin Tower, Ryanair 800 Quebec, ILS 28 left. Yeah, look at that. We actually have to trim an airplane. Haven't done that in a while.
Ryanair 800 Quebec, Dublin Tower, roger. Continue ILS 28 left approach.
Yep, that's what we'll do. Beautiful early morning weather, isn't it? Localizer capture, glide slope capture. From my heading 278. 3,000 feet set.
Ryanair 800 Quebec, Dublin Tower, wind 220 at 12, runway 28 left, clear to land.
Runway 28 left, clear to land, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Terrain noted. Weather is not a factor, I'm gonna go onto the terrain as well. Look at how slow we're going, 133 knots ground speed. And look at this absolute beauty of a set. And look at that absolute idiot like me losing the glide slope over it. Okay, flaps 2. Sorry, flaps 5. Boeing after all. Do 160 knots until 4 miles, otherwise we'll just fourth go-arounds behind us. Okay, this is looking good.
Wind 220.
So, gear down, flaps 15, landing checklist.
Runway 28 left, clear to land.
28 left, clear to land, Ryanair 4 Papa uniform.
Start switches, continuous, recall, checked, speed brake, green light, landing gear, down, 3 green, auto brake, 2 set, holding at flaps. Flaps 30. Speed checked. Flaps 30. And set VREF plus 5. So complete the landing checklist. Flaps 30, 30, green light. Landing lights on, landing checklist complete. Crew seated, and we're clear to land. Look at how smooth the air is. They had some lovely gusts an hour ago, but everything has cleared up. Beautiful early morning weather here. You can certainly notice how light the airplane is. Look at how uncommon the pitch is for an approach. But that's how different light aircraft fly compared to when you're only doing landings at your typical landing weights with a full load of passengers. It's really a different feeling.
Plus 100.
Checked. So 15 knots crosswind. Continue.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
Speed break up. Thrust goes normal. 9 hours and 12 minutes. $80 knots. We could have taken Sierra 4. Unbelievable.
Ryanair 800 Quebec, welcome to Dublin. Contact ground on 130.79er.
130.79er Ryanair 800 Quebec. Okay, we'll vacate the runway first. Could you just quickly tune that frequency for me, please? Okay, the right side is clear, the left side is clear. Welcome to your new home, my beauty. So, we wanted 137. Dublin ground, Ryanair 800 Quebec. Request taxi to gate 137. Beautiful.
Ryanair 800 Quebec, taxi to Terminal 1, Gate 37B via Sierra 5, Sierra.
No, that's not
hold
it.
short of runway 34, then Mike 1, Link 4, F outer Link 5, F outer Link 6 Charlie. Good day.
Taxiing to 137 Ryanair 800 Quebec. Thank you very much and good day. Okay, so 137 it is. Even though that's not exactly what ATC told us, but I don't care. Cool, so here we are. Now, I would say the engines have been pretty much in idle for about 3 minutes already, so as soon as we're at a nice taxi speed, we are going to shut down engine number 2 and do single engine taxi. So, I do hope you guys have enjoyed this flight as much as I have. It's always nice to bring a brand new aircraft from the factory. Absolutely enjoy this. Generally, maintenance flights like this, whether the airplane goes into a paint shop or whether, you know, whether there's just something special happening to the airplane. It's always nice to be the first one flying the plane thereafter. Alright, so 30 knots up here, shut down engine 2. Here we go. Still have 1.5 tons of fuel on board, that's just about perfect. So we'll turn left into Whiskey 2. It's a very long turn, so no need to slow down for this one. We'll just go through it at full speed. So let's see if we can get some ground services at our gate. It's gotta be north remote, I suppose. Or not. Okay. Well, let's see. Pier 1. I mean, it's not technically speaking Pier 1, but Pier 1 remote. Yeah, that looks like it. So, 137, and we'll take Bravo. We'll go onto the right one. No follow me necessary. Handling by E-port. So, we're clear on the left side, we're clear on the right side, and we're cleared across. I've just said that we are. Probably not an active runway anyway, with this kind of weather and this amount of traffic. Alright, so left onto the outer until link 6, where we are going to enter the apron. From here on, use minimum power, that's what we are doing. But this turn is a little bit tighter, so we do have to slow down a bit. When you do need to accelerate on a single engine, it's 40% N1. Below that, you're not going to get any meaningful result. But this is looking fantastic. Don't go over 40 though. Okay. So we'll go off to the right hand side over there and then towards 137 Bravo. Okay, the right hand side is completely clear. Is Charlie correct? Well, yeah, link 6 on a Charlie is correct. And then we'll go towards Delta November, which is the northern line. Maximum wingspan 36, not a problem. We got 35.78. And yes, these kind of numbers you do remember after such a long time. It took me a while to remember the A330 numbers, and for a time I still responded with 737 figures. But yeah, I suppose if you've flown an airplane for that long, then sometimes it takes a bit to get used to changes. So we're going to keep the APU off, ground power units will be available at our gate, and once we're there it's time to open the champagne. Another Boeing 737 delivered. But now it's up to you guys. While we are taxiing the last bits and pieces of this airplane to the stand, have you already tried the new 737 in flight in 2024? Leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. As always, I'm really interested in your opinion here as well. And, well, here we are, approaching the gate. So, lights off please. APU remains off. So that's 138 right. I'm going back on to Charlie over here. 137 Tango, 137 Alpha. Tango is the wide-body version of the gate. And here's where we are going, 137 Bravo. The guidance system is on. This would be the moment where you would get nervous in the real life. No ground power unit there. However, we do know that with GSX it's normal. Looks like somebody decided to make that thing in feet. Come on, 2 feet, really? Well, we do need some thrust. And stop. The engine couldn't even run up that quickly. So, parking brake is set. Let's connect the ground power unit. Chocks going in. GPU requested. And here we go. Ground power unit is there. Ground power unit is started. So, I suppose there is no cabin crew disarm doors and cross-check. So let's go ahead and shut her down. And we got both engines below 20%. Okay. So, transit shutdown, well, full shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off, electrical, on ground power, fasten belts off, window heat off, probe heat auto, anti-ice off, electric hydraulic pumps off, voice recorder auto, air compacts off, engine bleeds on, APU bleed off, exterior lights steady and wheel well, start switches off, auto brake off, speed brake down to 10, flaps up and light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar is off, transponder 2000 standby, CB in, cockpit door unlocked, transit shutdown checklist complete. Well then, let's go ahead and shut it down, up here, down here, and then we are just waiting for the power. So for that, first of all, let's go back here and open up that door. And extend the air stair. And I suppose with this it is official. Welcome to Dublin, our new baby. So, thank you very much everyone for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this one. Be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. Finally, let's shut this thing down and then we can go party. Power off, and that's it. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. And with all of that out of the way, enjoy your 737, and I'm very much looking forward to see you all again on the next one.